is an oil painting called Green Car, and it reflects the high energy, upbeat feeling of Mexican city scene. I really had fun doing this. It's got the people and the vibrant colors that they're so famous for. Here are a few more paintings I'd like to show you. This one is an oil painting that I did for a flower show at the Edina Art Center. And it's just a kind of, again, this woman lost in the reverie of being surrounded by beautiful flowers. She's a flower vendor on the street, and I think has kind of a nice feeling to it. There's a couple other I'd like to show you up top here, and they're plein air again, where you set up your easel on the street. I got up real early one morning, one summer morning, and set up my easel and my paints at Nicollet Island, and this is what I came up with. This one is called House on Nicollet Island, and I just loved the colors and the quaint charm of it. And as I was packing up, just ready to go, this orange cat walked by, and I thought, well, he really wants to be in this. So I put the little orange cat walking by, which is kind of fun. This one just had such a beautiful glow. I could feel the warmth of the sun on my head and my shoulders, and this yellow just glowed to me. And so I thought, what a beautiful garden. I enhanced it a little with pastels also, but the vibrancy of the colors of the garden and everything really was just gorgeous to me. And a little bitty cat sitting on the roof, which he was. He was begging to be in it too. These two, I mentioned a series before. These are also oils, and this one is a giclée. Recently, it's on exhibit now at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, Foot in the Door exhibit. So this is a giclée, the original is there, but it is inspired by pretty much Excelsior, and it's called Charmed. It's got, it's reminiscent of the kind of quaint buildings with the funky awnings and the couple walking hand in hand down to the lake, some sailboats on the lake, and on this side of the street is some outdoor cafes with a flower vendor sitting there. So it's just kind of quiet but good energy going on there. This one is also part of the series I showed you earlier of the horses grazing in the garden with the Tuscan house in the back. This one is set more in a bucolic, farmy atmosphere where they're in a paddock in a pasture, and I did it in the dead of winter when I needed to feel the warmth of the sun, and I think this one has it. It's just kind of warm and quiet feeling, and I like the way that one turned out. I'm doing series of both of these.
Now, Marla, you're painting all the time. It's your profession. It's your livelihood. What do you do for fun besides painting?
Well, I'm kind of hyperactive in that regard, and I kind of like staying busy. So I also do a line of jewelry, and when I get a little tired of the painting, I go do jewelry, and when I get tired of the jewelry, I go paint, and then when I get tired of that, I usually go and get in some trouble or something somewhere. But basically, the other things I love, I think my love for horses is obvious, and I grew up with them and still am involved with horses. I still have one. And so I do that, and I love music, play the drums actually, and love staying active, biking and hiking and skiing and kayaking. I like it all. Mostly outdoor stuff. Well, this is a sampling of my jewelry making. It's kind of a meditative thing for me to do. I just love working with the colors and the textures and putting unlikely pairings of wood and bone with crystal and sterling, and just combining anything that is interesting and kind of creates its own mood. I'm surprised to say that, or I'm surprised constantly to hear over and over that it goes with anything, which I really believe it does. And I welcome commissions. This is also on my website, and I've done things so much fun, things that are so much fun as whole bridal parties and the bride and the mothers of the groom and mothers of the bride, and some special pieces for dresses, and it's just a fun thing. I've done it for seems like forever. Actually, Michael, I'm really a very social person. It doesn't appear that way. These are all kind of solitary projects that I'm doing, but I'm learning a new thing, and that is sculpture, which I've always wanted to do. My brother is teaching me, and my first projects are horses that I have known and loved in the past who have gone before me. This is Chubbs, and he's further along. I've gone through the armature stage, and I'm into the clay stage. After that, it goes to a rubber mold, and then the wax, and then the bronze. That's what I'm aiming for. And this is Malika. What I'm trying to do with both of these is less impressionistic than I usually try for with painting, but more getting a likeness to get, their attitude and the way they moved. So that's kind of fun, but again, I really am a social person. This room used to be a storage room until I had a grandbaby a couple years ago and decided to make it a little playroom. So I crawled around here and painted it a light blue with clouds and sunshine and flowers, and it gets a lot of good use.
Well, Marla, when did you first realize you were an artist?
Well, I come from a family of artists, and we were always kind of playing around drawing or painting, or in my mom's case doing music, and I have a brother and a sister who are writers, so we were always kind of in that genre. And it was when I was in grade school and high school that I realized I really was getting so much more out of it than the kids sitting around me. I was just loving it. And so in college I took art, and after that pursued more commercial kinds of things. I used to do ads and signs and logos and a lot of brochures and that kind of thing. And probably about 15 years ago, I realized that I was very tired of being the art waitress and started doing it a little more seriously, what I wanted to do. And that's when I started more of the painting and painted furniture and murals and things.
Super. Where do you get the inspiration for your paintings, for your subject matter?
For subject matter, some of the artists that have really inspired me have been, I think, Matisse has to be mentioned, John Sargent. I love his stuff. It's just ethereal to me. It's just unbelievable what he manages to do. Some of the plein air painters, I was in an exhibit at Spirit of the West Museum, and I really happened upon some great, great artists there, and since I have been inspired by them. One of my teachers was Phil Stark, and I think he's just incredible and so willing to share his expertise.
Marla, being a full-time artist, being your profession, working out of your home, how do you handle the business side of being an artist?
My nemesis. The business side is not so easy for me. If I were doing the business side for somebody else, it would be a lot easier. But the marketing I find more difficult. It's certainly a necessary part of it if you're going to pursue this as a career. But I make myself make one call a day, at least one call a day, to galleries or prospective customers. And it's serving me well. If I can just eke out that much marketing every day, I'm doing well.
Well, Marla, what advice would you give an artist that's just starting out?
To be consistent about it, even on the days when you don't feel like it, when you're not really inspired, when you'd rather do something else. I can't say that I always do that, but I know that's good advice.
How about developing your own style?
You know, I firmly believe that everybody's an artist. I really do. I think everybody that has the kind of perseverance to do art is going to have their own style. And I really do believe that. You know, most people don't think they are or don't give it the time to develop or whatever. But if you do have that kind of, you know, passion or want to develop that, then you will have your own style. And certainly looking around us at other people that inspire us is always a wonderful resource.
Well, if somebody wanted to see more of your work, do you have a website or something?
I do have a website. It's www.marlamullaneyart.com. Please visit it. That'd be great.
Well, Marla, I want to thank you for taking the time today and for inviting us into your home and into your studio. It's been very informative, very educational, and it was wonderful getting to know you and your art much better.
Thank you. It's been fun having you here. Thanks for coming.